Motivation and branding.
Yes, and I'm actually kind of like in the process of branding, quote unquote, right now. So this is going to be a helpful one for me too.
So it's directly applicable to what you're trying to do. I mean, well, here's a question: what does motion and branding mean to you?
I think to me personally, and what I'm kind of trying to figure out right now is what I want my brand to be. And I think part of it is like coming up with something creatively, like a logo and what emotes you want and stuff like that. And I actually have Denny working working on I asked her this morning if she could send me my wave emote because I accidentally deleted it off Twitch
Of
because
course you
I
did.
deleted the wrong one. And I gotta like rechange the hair and to match my green and black aesthetic. I recently changed my name to Lunar Lilith 28 rather than having 7 different variations of that. Like it's just little things like that, but also kind of building your community and what you want the vibes, quote unquote, of your community to be.
Hmm.
I don't know if I answered your question, but that's what it means to me.
I know. I think you touched on a good point of it, right? So branding is a daunting word because branding refers to a lot of different ways things are perceived. Branding is your logo. Branding is your image. Branding is how your vibe and community comes off. Branding is, in essence, how you present yourself to those outside, right? Like branding is, in essence, a part of you extrapolated out so that people can see you. Um, but to keep up branding, especially rebranding, like you have to have an aspect of motivation to get forward to that, right? Rebranding is not an easy thing. Rebranding is trying to change your image in order to accommodate to maybe where you're different at. Like we've talked in the past, right? Different places in life lead to different times, lead to different versions of yourself on your path to ultimately where you want to get to be. And with that comes a rebrand of yourself. Like changing yourself or yourself going through life lessons is, in a way, rebranding yourself or brandishing a new path, right?
Yeah, I agree 100%. And when I first heard the word branding, I had basically taken a weekend to sit down and do a bunch of research on like streaming and how to improve your stream and stuff like that. And the first time branding was brought up, I felt so overwhelmed because it was like you need a logo and then you need this, but you also need to be consistent and you're not allowed to change your mind. I was watching the wrong YouTube videos, just an FYI, because you are allowed to change your mind. I feel like, I mean, I can't even count how much or like explain how much my stream has changed from when I first started and what I thought was like quote unquote my brand to how it's developed now.
I feel like now we need for your brand you need a grounding emote.
I do. I probably do. Like
Lilith
honestly,
grounded.
let me hit up Denny real quick. I've spent so much money on art, like it's a problem.
I feel like you have an addiction to getting rebranded, but no, it's not a bad thing though, right? Like you're exploring the different ways to express yourself in what's ultimately the most one of the most expressive ways to be. And branding is all about expressiveness. That's what I feel like what a key thing people tend to miss about it. And the videos you kind of just touched on, like the videos saying, "Don't change your mind, don't change your brand, don't do this and that." I mean, if you're gonna stick in one way in one specific way of branding, I'm sorry, you're gonna fall behind the times and you're never gonna get anywhere, right?
Right.
A concept of branding is fine. Keep the concept of branding, but change up your presentation of it. You can be like, I'm gonna stream games that make me happy. Maybe that's your concept. I'm gonna have a chill community. That's my concept. I'm gonna be positive. I'm gonna be grounded. That's your concept.
Right. And
But
I think, oh, sorry, go
no,
ahead.
it's okay. I was gonna say like those are your concepts, but the delivery and presentation out there is what you may change. Like cycle through, change of pace, mix it up, make something new and vibrant. If you keep things the same, they're gonna get stale, and you're gonna feel less motivated to do stuff.
I agree, and I think you made a really good point about like continuing to rebrand too, because I play a lot of Red Dead on my stream, and I could kind of feel myself burning out from that. So that weekend that we all played, when we filmed the podcast, and then played Phasmophobia, and then played Red Dead, I kept looking at the time, and I was like, time is freaking flying, and this is the most fun I've had on a stream in like a long time. And I think again rebranding really comes with it develops with you as a streamer and as a person. So it's okay to like change your mind. It's okay to experiment and like figure out what you like, because streaming is kind of trying to find yourself too, which we've also talked about before. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think like in the effort to find yourself, that ties into the motivation, right? You want to feel motivated and have the energy to pursue a path that's going to get you to your end goal. You're always changing as a person. Times are always adapting. You're innovating and you're growing, you're experiencing. Adopting your brand to incorporate that in to show your progress of where you're at shows your growth as a person in the whole and shows where you've come from step one to step two. I mean, I've gone through rebranding. I started out 2 years ago streaming, and I started out with Hearthstone. I was exclusively a Hearthstone streamer for like 8 months, and then I stopped for 6 months because work. I came back and I tried Hearthstone again, and my numbers were bad. And I was not having fun. I ended up quitting the game. And that for me, my brand was on like, hey, I am like the discard warlock player in Hearthstone who has pushed this deck to be good. And by the time the deck was quote unquote good, I always fought for it being good, but people disbelieve me. Um, by the time that it was deemed good by the other community members, I wasn't having fun with the game anymore, and I ended up leaving. I switched to a variety streamer for like 2 months, and I had fun with it, but I was trying to get my base was just all over the place, and then I settled on the brand for, hey, I'm gonna do MTG. We're gonna go back to my roots and basics, and well, I mean, here we are, so many months later, MTG, on top of motivation on the side, right? And the motivation came in as a suggestion from a friend from Darkseeker. Um, and I wouldn't have got there if I hadn't listened, changed, and moved forward with the rebranding.
Yeah, I think that's an important point too. Is burnout is a thing. It does happen. Like I think we've all kind of been there, especially like I haven't been streaming super long, but I've definitely had some moments where I'm like, I just don't want to. Like I'm not having fun. And it was kind of when I was trying to stick to that schedule that I did for a minute, which was me trying to rebrand and like figure out what I liked. I scheduled everything down for myself, and then I was like, this is not fun for me. And I feel like as a streamer, if you're not having fun, your viewers aren't going to have fun as well. So, and I think it's important to have fun while you're streaming. Like it's supposed to be a fun thing. And if you're not having fun, you're going to experience that burnout really quick, which is, why I started trying to do different things on my stream. And, I know a lot of people are like, oh, you need to find a consistent basis for what you're going to be doing. And I think that is important to an extent, which is like part of the reason I play a lot of Red Dead. I also just love the game, but also I like to throw other things in there too, just to get some like variety sprinkled in there. And I think the one thing though that I, at least for my community, I do like to keep it like chill. I think you can keep, like you were saying, a basis of something, especially like the community and what people can expect from it, while also developing it off of that basis, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. You're taking a base foundation that you have, base principles, base growth, and you're extrapolating on it to bring it to a better state somewhere where you're at. And kind of touching on that point of streaming what makes you happy. There are people that get caught in this sort of loop, this box, this inescapable hole of streaming something only because it's popular and only because they get the views, and then they get frustrated, they get toxic, they get salty, they get a negative attitude, they go into a downward spiral of something that just eats away at their mind, and they get to a burnout, and they're just like, I can't do this anymore. And if you're not streaming what makes you happy, you're not doing it right. Sure, that's fine. Stream a game to for views because it's popular. I can understand that. That's because you want to succeed and you want to grow. There's nothing wrong with ambitions to grow. But don't just stream it just for the growth. Don't just stream it because it has the views. Stream it because you want to stream it, because you're going to enjoy it, and you can grow with that game as both a person and in learning with it in your community. And I don't just mean like learning lessons from the game. What I mean is playing the game so you learn more aspects about yourself in this streaming life. Streaming is, in all effects, a job. And We do it because we love it. It's an aspect in a hobby, but it takes time and preparation to get to. You want to enjoy what you do. You don't want to force yourself to do it. If you're forcing yourself to do a hobby, you're not really doing a hobby. You're doing a disservice to yourself and putting yourself in a negative advantage.
Yeah, I agree. And I've done that with a couple games, like trading card games specifically. I really struggled to get into, and I was trying to stream that on Magic. And you know what? I had really like high views in there. I had like 13 people in there minimum, but I was not having a good time. I was getting angry. I was frustrated. So I think it's okay to try new things, like, and it's good to try new things. But if you're starting to get frustrated and stuff like that, play it off stream for a little bit so
Mhm.
you can learn more about the game and then come back. That's probably what I'll end up doing is like, once you're more comfortable with it, then start streaming it, to the point where you're not just having a mental breakdown on stream, which I've had my fair share. Red Dead's frustrating. Magic pisses me off. Like,
I think
you
what
know.
pisses you off about Magic is your competitiveness.
Dude, oh my God, I'm so competitive and I hate losing. That's why I don't play competitive games very often because I get legitimately angry. And that's something I recognize I need to work on myself.
But I
But
don't think that's really something to work on. I think, that's an aspect of your brand. That is you, right? Like you have fun playing Red Dead. You enjoy what you do. You bring in comedic lines. I mean, I'll mention Princess Bob because as you find these adorable animals that you fall in love with for Arthur in Red Dead, if you guys don't know the game Red Dead Redemption, basically you play as an outlaw and you can ride horses and there's some other gun shooting and stuff. It's like a Wild West esque game, but Lilith has this habit of going out to find horses and she'll ask her community to name the horses, and one is
hey, I've
Princess Bob.
been a long time since I found Princess Bob. I always ask my chat to name animals because I can't name shit and I recognize that. So I ask them to.
But like that's part of an identity, that's part of a brand, that's an aspect of fun, that's chat engagement, right? And like I think recognizing the competitiveness that you have, I don't think that's a negative. I think that's part of your brand because if you're wanting to compete and win, that's not a bad thing. That's a wanting to succeed. But what you said about trying something off stream to see if you do enjoy it before trying it out on stream is a great approach. You want to find out if something is for you and fits into what your brand is. And maybe what your brand is at the time isn't what you're liking anymore. So you're looking for something new. You want to try something different. And maybe suddenly you've just found like this amazing game that you just now suddenly only want to stream. And that is 100% fine because that's what you want to do and you enjoy. If your views suffer, you know what? People are going to watch some streamers just because they're playing the game and they want to learn better from the game. But there are people in the community that watch the streamer for the streamer. And quite frankly, I think if you're working to build a community, you want the people that are there to watch you for you, not just for watching the game. It's good to have both because you want to entice all kinds of people to come in. But your community is not the people that just kind of watch you for the game. The community is the people that watch you for you, and they're there to watch you enjoy what you're doing and bond with you and grow with you in that kind of aspect, and that just forms further bonds. So if you're rebranding and fun, nerd me, thank you for that, Free, my dude. How are you doing today? Welcome, 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 everyone. We're doing a talk on motivation and branding, and what that entails. As I casually just fixed the alert box so it's not put behind by the photos. But like I said, like it's fine to stream a game, and there are going to be the people that watch just for the game, and there are going to be people that watch you for you. It's good to have a mix of both, but your community is made up of all kinds of people in that. And if you switch your game and people stop watching because they're only watching for the game, then they stop watching because you're not doing the game. But the people that stick around to watch you for you, it makes your bonds tighter, and it just further expands your chance to grow and learn. You're in a whole new area of expertise. It's branding is an open concept, like we said, right?
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And I just want to emphasize, like, and I talk about this a lot because I really, really, really love my community and the communities I'm a part of. Like, if they are there to support you and genuinely want to support you, they're gonna want to like come in and see how the new game is going too. Like I when I'm with my community and like with my chat, I'm like, guys, we're trying a new game today, so we're all in this together. I fail, you fail. I win, you win. Like we're gonna try this out and see how it goes. And another like kind of small point I wanted to
Hmm.
touch on that's not really related but kind of related is the off stream thing. I think it's really important to find games you can play off stream so you don't experience that burnout. Because I was streaming literally every single game I was playing, and I kind of did it with Red Dead 2. And I'm like, I want to play Red Dead, but I only do it when I'm streaming, or like I feel like I can't play this game off stream, which is why I like Phasmophobia, because that's a game I can play off stream, on stream. Like, I think that's, and I know we're not really talking about burnout or whatever, but I just kind of wanted to touch on that it's important to have hobbies outside of the hobby too,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Well, it does, because like branding, as we said, branding is an extension of yourself. But branding just doesn't end because you're on stream. Like there's your off stream brand. I mean, we're engaged on social media. There's the Lunar Lilith of Instagram. There's the Lunar Lilith of Twitter, and then there's the Lunar Lilith of Discord who gets grounded every other day for just being too cute or some other thing. But that's just life, right? But your brand extends further, and what you just kind of touched on, I think, is a valid point. There's your stream brand, which will be sections of games you play, things you do, and stuff that interacts. But there's your brand off stream that you do, and it's good to keep a separation of the two. Like, um, I enjoy MTG a lot. I mean, I help with we do the Drop Return podcast, I MTG Arena, Commander Nights, all kinds of things. But I only really try to stream MTG Arena on stream because if I play it all the time off stream, I'm burnt out and tilted and salty because I lose focus. I keep hands that I shouldn't, and I try to do stupid things. But
Sorry, I'm
it's
laughing because like magic just makes me so mad.
well, I get that too. Like on stream is I have a lot of fun because people are watching and I'm enjoying what I'm doing. And off stream, sometimes I just get so caught up and I'll just get frustrated. Like I just have to get this rank right now, and I'll get tilted and salty. And it's good to draw that boundary between what you play on stream and what you play off stream. What you stream, it's good to not play it off stream because it keeps it fresh and exciting and fun. Play something different off stream to give yourself a bit of relax and develop that off stream brand a bit. Maybe like if you're just hanging out playing Phasmophobia off stream, like on Twitter, post like a quick photo of getting scared on Phas. I'm just like, oh man, I just got nuked by a ghost in the asylum, kind of. It was like, ah. They were like, ah. And the ghost was like, what's up? I'm going to get you now, man. Like something like that.
Yeah, and I think that's an important aspect of it too. Your brand does not have to just revolve around streaming. Like, and I'm still trying to figure out how I feel about this because I know people who get really upset about streamers for only making like streaming tweets and stuff like that. And first of all, why are you so worried about what they're doing? Second of all, I do understand their point too, though. Like, I don't know, because I think it is important people see past just streaming. Like, I want people to know that I'm a smartass and I can be a jerk sometimes. Like, I'm human. Like, I want people to know that. And I want, I don't want to come across as like fake. I don't want to have to keep up this facade all the time, which is why I've always tried to be like real with people since I started streaming because it's going to get exhausting trying to keep up a facade of sorts. So I'm kind of just, for me personally, putting myself out there. And on Twitter, my Twitter is a dumpster fire. Like, I'm venting sometimes, I'm retweeting memes. Like, it's not always streaming all the time. There's a lot of streaming stuff, but it's not 24/7. You know what I mean? So I think that's an important aspect too, is you are a human being. And it's important for people to see those layers of you because that is what is going to make people bond to you. That's what's going to make people want to come back and want to support you because they know you as a person, and people tend to go to things they're familiar with. So if you become one of those familiar things, you're going to keep bringing people back, in my opinion.
No, I'd absolutely agree. And like what you just touched on, the layer is an important aspect. Not to quote movies just out of the blue, but let's talk about Shrek for 1 second.
Yes. I was hoping you would say that.
Ogres have layers. Onions have layers. People have layers.
Yes.
People are like onions. You have a lot of layers. And your branding consists of multiple layers. If you are protruding a fake layer, it's very easy to tell a fake person versus a real person. And I don't mean fake in that they're adopting a stream persona and just going with that, because that is what some people do for content. They adopt the stream persona and they roll with it. And they do it because they enjoy it. That's their theatrics, that's their fun, that's their motivation and expression for what they do. What I mean by fake is a person forcing themselves to such a point that they're just going to be, we're always like this way this time and I can't change it no matter what, and I'm not being who I am. If you can't be the realest you can be or an expression of yourself and in your own way, you're not being truthful to your community, you're not being truthful to you, and you're not representing your brand correctly. You're doing it wrong. You're forcing yourself to a burnout. You're giving the wrong impression in the wrong type of way to succeed and get better and to improve yourself and grow in any aspect, whether it be grow in streaming concepts, grow in streaming experience, grow in numbers, grow in networking, growing in anything. And another thing, kind of to touch on that too, is the community aspect. Motivation comes from in self. Motivation also comes from your community. To quote one of my favorite movies of all time, High School Musical, from the first movie, the song, "We're all in this together."
Yes.
Branding is as much you as it is your community. Your community, in some essences, is a reflection of the values and portrayals that you have. You know, if you are a positive person with a positive community, your brand becomes positive. I'm not saying that your community members are forced to act positive all the time, but when people see members from your community out, they may be recognized for specific things that you are known for. Maybe being positive, maybe with funny jokes, maybe with being grounded every other day by everyone else, because it's a community thing now.
Evidently.
I'll use this. So you've heard me kind of mention this inside joke about grounding Lolo. Hydra List, thank you for that 7-month subscription, my friend. Appreciate that, bro. You know the drill. Let me know redemption for 10k points or less, and you got it, my dude. Hope your day's going great. I'm going to edit that out in the video when I get back to it. But to continue the story about grounding. So this kind of joke started between me and Lil. I said, you know what? You're being sassy. You're grounded. She's like, wait, what? You can't do that. I'm like, yeah, I can. You are. And she was like, why? I'm like, you're being sassy and not doing your homework. She's like, fine, I'll go do my homework. And thus the joke started. So every time she does something, she gets grounded. And I started commenting in our team Discord of F2K Comnet about her being grounded. And then it caught on with Uncle Russ. And then Jaffer got in on it. And I think a couple others are in on it. So it's a community effort to ground Lil. She's our community groundee.
I feel like I'm one of the youngest people in there, so that's also not fair because I don't know. But yeah, things like that, like just little inside jokes, like, or it's not jokes necessarily, but like inside things, building your community. Princess Bob is one of the things in my community. We had a horse named, or we named our Harvest Moon guy Pizza at one time because somebody mentioned it, and you know, it's things like that that don't discount the little things and the like. I'm trying to figure out how to word it. I'm really bad with like wording my emotions and how I feel, which is something I struggle with, and I'm pretty outright about that on stream and stuff like that. But yeah, community is incredibly important. I'd say it's like 90% of you, like,
Yeah.
you know, because you're fostering this environment. And I think again, something I kind of struggle with is like being firm with people. I was scared to ban people when I first started streaming. Like if somebody made a comment that made me uncomfortable, I was just like, oh, okay, like whatever. Now I'm like, if you say something that makes me uncomfortable, I might time you out. We'll talk about it. But if you continue arguing with me, goodbye. Like, we're not trying to have that because I want my community to feel safe. I want them to not feel uncomfortable. Like, it, you know, it's just, I don't know. I really love communities though. And like my community, the F2K community, like your community, I've made so many amazing friends, and I'm 100% rambling now because I just like I just feel really grateful, and I'm in a completely different place than I was like a year ago. in terms of that and stuff. But basically, what you put out, you're going to get back. And I think that is a good point to make with communities too, because they are a part of your brand. So I don't really know where I was going with that. I apologize. I just kind of went on a la la la.
It's okay. I got you because I know how to tie this into branding. So you touched on community, respect, safety. Branding isn't just about your perception of people. Branding is a whole lot more. You're branding that you are a lot of things in how you do games, how you stream, what your community is about. But safety and respect in a community is another part of the brand because you want a respectable brand. You want a known brand. You want people to know that your brand is safe. You don't want to go out there and be known for, you know, dissing everyone and their uncle and aunt and second cousin twice removed on their mother and or father's side, right? You want to be known for something good, and safety and respect is a great thing to be known for. Branding that your community is a safe community is an aspect to say so because there are a lot of times on the internet cyberbullying, right? A safe space is an important space. And I'm not just saying like a safe place where like, you know, no bad words are said, nothing goes on, but a safe space where ideas and reflections can be kept. But if you're going to be disrespectful, if you're going to incite negative ideas, if you're going to try and turn someone around or frame a negative narrative, that's not respectful. That's not safe. That does not belong there. And dealing with those types of individuals, whether timing them out, whether banning them and kicking them out of the community, that's showing the others that you have a safe environment, a safe community, and a safe brand for them to be a part of. That keeps other members informed, like, hey, you know, this person knows what they need to do to get this done when someone's acting out. Like, I'm very much an advocate. I don't like banning people. I've maybe done it 3 times in my whole streaming career, but I have. I banned someone the most, aside from the bots that come to chat, my most recent banning probably was 3 months ago. We were talking on I don't know if you were with me or not. Maybe you were. I don't know if this was when we started doing the co-hosting or not, but
Was it the person who made the incredibly inappropriate
yes,
comment?
yes, a person came in the chat. They asked, can you what do I need to be motivated to kill myself? And I'm like, A, not appropriate. B, you're banned. 3, get out of here. Like, that is not an appropriate thing to talk about. That is not the type of joke or troll you make. It's unacceptable and inexcusable. So yeah, I banned them, and they've never been back. And
He did. He put his foot down. I
yeah,
was
it was
like,
2 seconds.
I don't see you mad very often. But I was like, oh damn.
Very rare do I get mad because I'm not a very mad person per se. Generally, I'm very happy and go lucky unless I'm salty and magic. But there are very few. There are a couple few things that will push me to an edge very quick, and that is one of them that I had zero tolerance for, and that's part of my community because I don't. That is not an aspect of a community I want. That is not an appropriate joke by any stretch. But you know, a safe environment is part of a successful brand and community and building a successful brand.
Yeah, I agree. And like, I'm a smartass. Again, I'm pretty outright about that. Like, but I don't immediately attack new people. Like, when I say don't put on a facade or, things like that, I don't mean don't. You're allowed to keep certain parts of yourself to yourself. You don't have to be like 100% out there, like, all the time. Like, I'm a smartass with you because I know you well enough at this point that you can handle it, and I'll just get grounded anyways. Um, you know, just making it. Sometimes you have to ease people into your personality.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but you can still do that while being outright. But again, with the whole branding and community thing, and what you were just saying, like in my community, like I said earlier, I want people to feel safe and comfortable, but I want it to be good vibes. I want us to be able to have fun, and we usually do. But if I have to put my foot down to make sure the rest of the community is safe and comfortable, I'm going to do that. And that's just part of the brand. And if you can't handle it, you don't need to be here, quite frankly, because it's just, I just want good vibes all the time. I want us to be comfy and like chill. And, part of streaming is kind of weeding out those who are there to do that and who genuinely want to support you, and those who are not bringing that to your brand. And that can be a really hard judgment call to make, I feel like, and it can be really hard to stand up for yourself and for your community. Personally, I do a better job of standing up for other people than myself. So it's something I'm still working on, but yeah.
But like that's an image of self growth, and it kind of plays to the brand of you stick up for the little person, be it short yourself, but
I'm not
I'm
short.
sorry. That was a low blow. I'm sorry. See what I
I'm
did there?
five
Low blow.
seven.
5'6", but nice try.
I think I'm 5'7".
You can think you're 6 foot. It's okay. You'll be grounded later.
Oh my god,
Wow, did I just ground her on stream? That's something. That's new. No.
that's new.
But creating that environment and showing you're sticking up for people in your community plays to it, right? It's branding, like we said. Branding is not just this one way thing. That branding is what you do. Branding is what you stream. Branding is what you show. Branding is you. It is an extension of you. Everything you portray and show on any type of social media is an aspect of your brand. Brand is a logo, brand is a name, brand is an image, brand is a concept, brand is multitudes of things that you do. But branding is an extension of you and what you do, no matter what, at the end of the day. So what you do in other places, on different social medias, on stream, it all relates to the brand that you put out there for you. Branding is you. Well, an extension of you, but yeah.
I think that's an important point to drive home, is put out there what you want to be known for. Like, I don't, basically just reiterating what you said, where the brand is an extension of you. How you make your branding, how you make your branding environment or your community environment, that's what people are going to see. And so just, I would say, just keep it real, not to sound cliche, but like, be straightforward about it and the right people will come.
Yeah,
essentially.
I absolutely agree. Keep motivated to keep your brand where you want it. Your community helps with your motivation because you want to build a place that people are going to have fun in and want to come back to.
And don't be scared to develop and like experiment and try new things and
live and grow, Don't stick in one way. You got to adapt with the times. If you fall behind the times, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, I haven't even thought about what I'm going to do after Red Dead. My life has revolved around Arthur for so long.
I hear there's a great game called Magic the Gathering Arena.
That's great, bro.
Maybe you should look into that, Lilith.
Hey, I have looked into it. And I've raged into it.
I'll tell you what, I'll unground you if you try Magic the Gathering again off stream.
Off stream, I would be willing to do off stream because then people can't see how mad I get.
I think you just earned a new Red Dead lover down in chat, by the way.
Yay!
All right, well, I think we've covered a good point about motivation and branding. I don't know that I have anything much to add. Branding is you. Branding is everything you stand for. Branding is an extension of you.
Yeah, I don't really have much to add either. I think we covered a lot of good stuff.
I'd agree. Well, Lil, as always, thank you. I know we've been a few Sundays shy of doing Motivational Sunday just because life has been life, but why don't you tell the people where they can find you at, because a rebrand did just happen not 2 weeks ago. So what's the new social links?
On all of my social media, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, it is just Lunar Lilith 28. No underscores, no bullshit anymore. Just straight up Lunar Lilith 28. So you can find me there.
Awesome. All right. And guys, I mean, you already know where to find me. I'm here on Twitch at twitch.tv/AstrosFlame. You can find me on YouTube and the Twitters and the Instagrams at AstrosFlame as well, because I had my branding all together because I was smart. No, I'm just kidding. I did do one thing new for branding, actually. I finally cracked down and made a link tree last night. So that's my new branding experience. So instead of having 3 different links on 3 different profiles, you now can click one link and find me anywhere. Haha.
It's awesome.
It's a life. All right, well, I hope you have a fantastic Sunday. I'm going to get ready to switch over to MGG here for a bit. and we'll get talking for next Sunday.
All right, sounds good.
You have any closing statements to say?
Live your best life, live and learn, and have a great day.